person in the studio right now at Dallas Trading Floor. I'm here to take your questions on the market. We've seen a bit of a rally. We're up a bit. The market is rallying. The president was speaking right now. I earlier in the day have shorted the SPY. Hopefully that was a wise decision. I did make some of that yesterday. It seems to be reacting favorably. It is trading up, which is good. I don't expect that to last though, because I do believe that we're going to be finding a new low. Looking at charts last night, and from what I can see with the Goldman Sachs information that I have, the SPY, pretty much the broad market, it may be going down to as low as 209. Obviously it's been bouncing around a lot. It's gonna move up probably today. There's positive news on the commercial paper markets. Of course, that's very, very important. Commercial paper is important because that is where the money markets get their money. So a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of their money that's in money markets, is on commercial paper market, and that may become illiquid, because basically what commercial paper is they're sort of like post-dated checks from the very biggest companies, and a lot of them are having trouble making making their payments because of the slowdown in the economy. As you know, many outlets are slowing. I mean, that's an unfortunate thing. So I think there's going to be a brief move trying to find safety by buying into the spiders. It seems to be pushing up the price a little bit. Unfortunately, I believe this is kind of short-lived, and that's the reason I shorted, because I do think that we are. Can you please? Oh, hey, 7-Eleven. I love Pittsburgh, especially like the food. As you can tell, I like the food a little bit too much. Excellent place. Carnegie Mellon is a wonderful school. Bit of this, is aware of that. They're going to try to firm up the commercial paper market. That's why I believe that we're having movement. I believe that's why people are moving into the spider ETF, and it has been going up. So, and I have been shorting it, anticipating possibly a movement lower. I believe right now the S&P 500 is doing fairly well, and I think hopefully it's stabilized a bit, but I do believe it's probably headed lower. This is brother sandwiches. Love you, Gail. Thank you. Okay. For any of you out there, and I started trying to warn everyone to try to get into cash as quickly as possible, when the market reversed. I do believe we're in a bear market. I believe we're at the beginning of a bear market. And in these markets, it just doesn't pay, unfortunately, to own anything. As strange as that sounds. So, what we need to be looking for is opportunities to short the stock. What do I mean by that? Well, to you can go long in a stock or you can go short in a stock. If you go short in a stock, you borrow the shares from somebody else and then you sell them. And then if the stock goes lower, you buy them back later and hopefully at a profit. That is what I believe the strategy going forward is going to be. I think that's the best strategy because I believe that really there's only two things you can do in a bear market. One is get into all cash, and hopefully everybody is there or close to there. And the second is starting to look for targets to short sell. Now, currently, I'm only short selling. I'm only short selling indexes because I kind of don't know where the weakness is. I haven't really worked it out. I believe the weakness may come down. So right now, the best thing to do is to get into cash. If you aren't already in cash, you need to be in cash just because we're in a situation where opportunities are going to happen and they're going to present themselves, but you got to be ready for them because there's not enough cash. We're up to 252. Okay, so we're up considerably in the SPY. It might be time to kind of look at possibly going short on that, just because I do believe it will come down, and then of course you would benefit from that. The main thing is you have to kind of look at your own situation, kind of what your requirements are going to be in terms of the next few months. When this started to happen, I went all in the cash and I divided my accounts. I have one account that's just cash, and I have another account that I'm actually trading in. So I've reduced my risk considerably from where I make money on Microsoft. Okay, well, Microsoft right now is the key support level. One of the things about Microsoft is that the key support level for Microsoft is 142.16, and it's gone below that. My guess is that if it doesn't regain that quickly, we're probably looking at Microsoft to go lower. So that's just my opinion, but it's based on what's called pivot points, and that's one thing that you want to be aware of when you're trading Investor Business Daily. So they're not mysterious. You just have to look for them. When it goes below that, now I hope set your stop losses very carefully on Microsoft, because even though you did buy it low and it looks like it's trading up, yeah, it's over 145. You might have you might have really done well there, because it's, as long as it's trading above the limit at 142.16, I think you might be safe. The danger, of course, is it's going to fall below 142.16. It's going to continue to go down to the next pivot point, which I believe is about 98. So you want to be careful there. You want to be careful. You want to set your stop losses. In this kind of market, I would set a stop loss. If I was long, and I'm not long any, by the way, if I were long in this market, I would be setting my stop loss at 6% down, which means basically taking what you paid for the security, multiply it times 0.94. That'll give you the number that you want to set your stop loss at. You want to tighten up your stop losses in this market. That's the way the market is trending. In a bear market, 4 out of 5 stocks go down, and only 1 out of 5 stocks goes up over the period of time. So we've definitely moved into a bear market. So again, cash is right now a very good place to be. but there are opportunities as well. So TVIX, the TVIX, if you're going to day trade, that's probably your best bet, is like the SQQQ or the TVIX. Those, by the way, for everyone out there, those are inverse ETFs. What they are is that they actually short the market for you. So you treat them just like a regular stock. You go long in them, and then and then they short the market for you. They can be, and sometimes you can be called out. Yeah, I still regret selling TVIX and wish it would cut down so I could get back in. Yeah, that's the gold ETF. Okay, I would not be buying the gold ETF. I know this sounds very, very counterintuitive for what everything you've said, but what a lot of people have told you, but gold in a deflationary market will go down. What's happening is that people are piling into cash. They're selling things. That's why I'm selling. They're selling things and they're getting into a cash position. So believe it or not, it's cash that you want to have in deflation, not necessarily gold. There will be a lot of people that do go into gold short term, and the price of gold is up, but long term, I don't think it's good because it trades parallel to the price of oil. Of course, we all know that the price of oil is down, and it probably will continue down for a while. What do you think about puts on Carnival Cruise Lines? You know what? I just wouldn't. There's certain parts of the market that are just radioactive, and that's one of them. I just can't figure out what's going to go on with Carnival. The problem with Carnival and the problem with all the other cruise lines, they're highly leveraged, and they're not going to be able to make their payments in about 3 months. They're not going to be able to make their payments, and we're going to start to see the banks repossessing their ships. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but believe it or not, when I was in the Navy years ago, I actually saw this happen in the liquefied natural gas industry, because I was up in Newport, Rhode Island, and they actually had repossessed ships. So Carnival Cruise Lines, I avoid it if you can. It's just a disaster waiting to happen. If you're going to short something, you want something that's been a high flyer, that's quality, that's gonna survive. Don't try not to be long in anything right now. It's just very risky based on the fact that the market may reverse. Now, you never can tell, but typically in a bear market, most things go down. So you just want to err on the side of caution, in that you want to stay in cash, and then and not go really long on anything. Basically, should go short on it. Las Vegas Sands, great cash rate. You know what? Here's the problem. You know what? The casinos are now going to the government saying, "Look, we're in the industry. We have to be bailed out." So again, casino gambling in a virus outbreak like this, nobody's going to casinos. I'm sorry. They're great companies, but they depend on people going in and gambling. The problem is, in our country, 70% of all of the economic activity is based on people going out and spending money in the economy. If there's a coronavirus or something like this is essentially a black swan event, in that it's going to lower all economic activity in the market, and so you really have to be protected. You hoard your cash, and then even raise more cash by borrowing shares and then selling them, like which I believe I'm correct in doing. It's just, that's just an opinion. What is the best low cost trading platform of to use as a Canadian? You know what? As a Canadian, and I would really look into TD Ameritrade. I mean, Toronto Dominion, it's backed by Toronto Dominion Bank, and you probably can't find a stronger bank there. I don't think you can find a stronger bank in Canada or in North America. It's one of the best banks in the world. I've dealt with them for years. It's very strong. That's where I would go as a Canadian. I think they're excellent. It was a good time to buy space. You know what? I made some good money on space. I sold out before the earnings. It's probably not, but again, it's so speculative. Yeah, no, it's way down. The chart on this just it's trading at 13.15 right now. The chart on this just unfortunately isn't where you want it to be. I mean, it's just unfortunately it's not the kind of chart that you want to see on that. So that's kind of unfortunate on that. But right now I'd be holding out being long in space just because I just don't think you're going to be. I just don't think it's going to be a good. I just don't think it's going to be a good thing for you. That's just my opinion here. So I guess now the markets have reversed. Let me just take a quick look on Spider, which is what I'm really monitoring carefully because I think it's a key to the market right now because it's the overall largest ETF in the world. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Okay. What is it trading at? It's trading at 255. Okay, so it has come up now. Hopefully, I'm right on this. I have my stop loss set, of course. I believe this rally will last. The reason I think it is rallying is because I think a lot of people are moving out of the commercial paper market into the spot. So that's kind of what I think. Let's find out. Probably get a good deal on this building. I mean, this is a very nice building, by the way, and it's on Preston Road. It's owned by a very excellent owner, and it. So there you go. Great stuff. This is not a good day to buy stocks. Okay, I know this is it kind of it reverses your thinking. This is a good day to sell stocks, especially stocks that you don't own. And what do I mean by that? Well, in the coming weeks and months, probably, hopefully it won't be months, but in the coming weeks, the market is probably going to trade lower. In a market that's trading lower, you basically don't want to own stock, own cash. Now, how do you raise cash? Well, you can actually borrow people's stocks and then sell them. And then hopefully, if the market goes down, you can buy them back later for a lower for a lower price. Hopefully, that's the case here. What is an alternative Robinhood? I would recommend instead of having Robinhood, I would recommend looking at TD Ameritrade because they can in this market panic. Unfortunately, Robinhood, as you know, had outages, and that was really due to the fact that they just didn't have enough cloud in the markets. I would recommend TD Ameritrade. They have the best execution, and they're commission free, just like Robinhood. And if you move over to them, you can probably get a bonus. They're paying $300-$600 to move your account, so it's pretty nice. I still have I still have RAF 100 ETF. Should I hold on? No, I don't think you should. I am not right now one that believes in being long in this market. I'm just not being. Now it will rally up and down. What will happen is today it's rallying a little bit. It's moving up, but right now I think that the market is going to head lower. I don't think you want to be long. I think you want to sell if this is a rally and you have ETFs. This is probably a good day to sell them because rally up, but I think it's going to return to its downward trend. That's just my opinion, but I think it's bearing out. I mean, they're having to do massive treasury things here, and so I don't think that pretends that. I mean, that means that the trend, at least in the next few months, probably for the market is downward. I mean, that's just, again, the trend is your friend, as they say. And in this case, the trend is not long. So if you're long and there's an up day that you want to sell on an up day, what could six big? I wouldn't buy anything today. Today is not a good day to buy. Today is a day to sell because the market is trending up. The market in general is moving from is a bearish market. In a bearish market, you do not want to buy anything. Now, everybody on CNBC is going to be telling you, oh, it's a great time if you're a long investor. Don't listen to them because they're just trying to cover their asses. They're going to get killed. And TD Ameritrade, definitely good. Are markets headed lower? Absolutely. Absolutely. I wish I didn't have to say markets are headed lower, but I believe they are. I do believe they are now. Now, because right now all the evidence says that so they are. There are these fake out rallies that's going on. It'll fake out, it'll rally, and then it'll come down. What these are all about is this is when the big mutual funds and the big players, this is when they get out of the market. They tell everybody, stay the course, and then they're selling out the back door. So be careful. Be careful. I'm the VIX. It's a good buy since it goes up more extent. Yes, but actually the VIX goes up when there's more volatility, and there's a lot of volatility right now. So that's actually more technically correct about the VIX. A fund that goes up when the market goes down is PSQ. You might want to look at that one. If you don't have the capability to stock, that might be a way to go. The PSQ moves up basically when the market moves down. I think long term we're in a downturn. I live in Kentucky. Well, yeah. I mean, definitely you're willing. Definitely, Dallas is a great place. By the way, I moved here from California. I was from Silicon Valley. And I moved here, and it's been the best move I ever made. And so just if you're ever in the area, we're up on Preston Road in North Dallas, and love to meet you. I mean, anybody that comes by, I would love to meet them because there's a lot of great stuff that you can do. Can you short the VIX long term? Absolutely, you can. This is by the way, everybody, this is a very, very good comment. Because that's really a smart thing to do. You can short ETFs, and that's a great way to go because instead of risking everything on one stock, not knowing exactly everything in the stock, you can short an entire industry, you can start an entire sector, and that is an extremely good way to short. That's how I'm shorting the market with the SPDR, which is the whole S&P 500. When it gets more down into the weeds, I'll be starting to short the individual SPDRs, which are the individual sectors, and then I'll go from there to individual stocks. So that's kind of the plan that I've mapped out for myself. in terms of in terms of the directions that I'm going. The only thing about shorting, it's a little bit nerve wracking because usually when you enter a short, it'll go against you initially, and then hopefully if you're right, it'll move in the right direction. So there you go. The VIX is a good buy today. Since it's down. You know, the reason the VIX is down today, I believe, is because the volatility has decreased because they're putting in these measures to bail out the commercial paper market. So I'm not convinced that the volatility is going away. I think that we might see a reversal towards the end of the week on the VIX. I really do, and I don't wish it, but I think we're probably going to see that. Anything on Hex HEXO? Let me look at HEXO. Is this Hexel? I think HEXO. Yeah. Okay. Hexo Corp. No. This is a really bad chart. Sorry to be such a Debbie Downer here, but this is a horrible chart. I wouldn't buy this chart. This chart is, everybody out there, one thing before you buy anything, always look at the chart, because if the chart is going down, like kind of like in the Bugs Bunny, where it goes like that, don't buy it. You don't want to buy it. You don't want it for 48 cents. I typically don't recommend anything that's trading under $10 just because it's too risky. If they're too thin, and you just basically can get killed. When asked about what did you say? Oh, yeah. I mean, definitely come to Texas. I mean, my phone number here. I'm available, and it's a great place. I mean, lots going on here in Texas. I don't know how we'll do in this downturn. I mean, I think the oil industry is going to be hit really hard, but that's mostly in Houston. So, but I do think it's going to be hit hard in Houston, unfortunately. That's just sort of the way. Selling. That's why I'm selling. Very, very astute. By the way, this is I'm sure that most people know this, but there's a term in the stock industry. It's called a dead cat bounce. It's like if you took a dead cat and you just throw it on the floor as hard as you can, it's going to bounce, but it's still dead. And that's kind of what we're going on. That's kind of what's happening. I heard the market is worse than 1929. I don't know. I wasn't around in 1929, but I tell you what, a lot of people made a lot of money in 1929. I know this. The popular view is that everybody, became poor overnight and was selling apples in front of the New York Stock Exchange and all that. But there's a guy that you should study. His name is Jesse Livermore. And he wrote a book. He made an absolute fortune. He was the first billionaire, I believe, that never had a company. He was a speculator. And there was it's been theorized that the Great Gatsby was written about him. He's definitely something you should look up on. Just Google the name Jesse Livermore, and if you want to know how to do well in a downturn, very, very good reading on that. What is Dallas Trading For? Well, Dallas Trading For is basically just a bunch of us traders here trading primarily equities. I'm primarily an equity trader, and it's just trading for our own accounts. And then I try to go on TikTok and YouTube. I'm on YouTube right now as well. I just started my YouTube stuff. Trying to go live every day and answer questions. But I'm live on TikTok, and I usually produce little, kind of short 60-second or 15-second videos for TikTok in the morning, just to kind of tell what I'm thinking about, what I'm doing, just so that if you're interested, you can kind of look at it. $6 looks like it's headed down. Yeah, it is. Tesla's probably going to go. I'd be really interested in looking at buying Tesla when it crosses 361, but we're a long way away from that right now. That's the pivot point. I wouldn't buy them right now in this market. It's just too weird. By the way, but I do that is the future. So I'm not I'm not ragging on Tesla. I think it is the future of the car industry. It's just not now. It's not a good time. That's all. I mean, you need to be out. Looks like you're going to make some money on your spot. Yeah, I should. I should. I've been making very good money on shorting the SPY. I should have invested in Amazon. I wouldn't, again, Amazon, look for Amazon to come down. I just wouldn't be long right now. It's time to be short or in cash. And I know that's a hard way to, or alternatively, I don't know if you've seen Bobby on the talk, but he did really, really well in the SQQQ. I did as well. I don't think I did as well as Bobby did, though. I think he did better than I did. I think the bottom for the SPY, based on a chart that I looked at from Goldman Sachs, is about 209. So that's what I'm at as the bottom on the SPY. It probably won't bottom for probably, I'm suspecting several, maybe 2 or 3 months. But I think when it does, that's an indication that we're going to move into kind of a sideways period. We're going to go down and then we're going to move sideways. That's sort of how these things work. I mean, trading, we've come down a lot faster, a lot quicker than we did in other ones. But it's even when we get down there, we're going to trade sideways, and a lot of companies are going to go out of business, unfortunately. Should I invest in Amazon when it hit 1,800? No, because let me look at just Amazon real quick. AMC. So yeah, let me just look at where Amazon. Oh, I can't. What is Amazon's symbol? God, I should know this. AMC. Oh, AM. I'm sorry, not AM. AMZ. And Amazon. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's trading for about 1,800. I don't know the levels on Amazon that well. It's definitely down, but it is trading up. It looks like the pivot is about 1682. It looks like the pivot's about 1682. So if it falls below about 1682, it's probably going lower. It looks like it's holding up well, though. It looks like it's holding up well. It looks like there's support. Yeah, it looks like there's support at about 1750, where I think support is. But if it falls below 1682, it's probably going to go lower. That's just my opinion. Even Amazon, a lot of best companies are going to go lower before it's all over with. It's not that they're going to go out of business. Thanks, by the way, Bobby. Appreciate it. I was able to pick that up. I was putting an ANZ in, which I'm an idiot. AMZN is the symbol for Amazon. Is shorting. Yeah, shorting the SPY is a little bit risky, only because you're betting that long term that the S&P 500 is going to be lower. I think that's a fairly high percentage bet. On the short term, you might lose. You might look bad, but I do think over the next few weeks it probably will be lower, and that's why I'm doing it. So, is Amazon out of household? Well, Amazon, it's really hard to say, but yeah, I think a lot of people on Amazon were doing like um arbitrage. They were like buying other stuff and then putting them on Amazon and selling them. All that's been gone for about a week. I do think there's going to be some supply chain issues that any vaccine really. The only one I really like right now is Gilead Sciences, GILD. I've been recommending that before. I'm not in it, so I just want to be really upfront about it. It's up nicely today. It's at 73.24. This is a quality company. And they are, that's where I'd be looking. It's Gilead Sciences, GILD is the symbol. So and Moderna. Yeah, okay, Bobby, you're right. Moderna, definitely. Moderna may actually, and also Regeneron. That's another one that you might want to be looking at as well. Let me see what Regeneron symbol is on our in GN. This would probably be one of the only. This would probably be one of the only longs that I would even consider would be in this area, and I'd be really, really, really selective. But Gilead Sciences, Regeneron, Moderna, those are pretty much the ones that are probably going to be the best on that. Don't forget, I know, yeah, I know, Nova Sciences, yeah, and that's. Let me look at that. That's a good point. Oh yeah. Now this one had a blow off top, and it came down. It was a high of 19. It came down. It's trading now at 720, but it's trading fairly well. I mean, this is obviously a safer position to buy it in. Again, they've got good product. This might be long. I'm just very anti going long right now until the market bottoms. I don't see it until the market. I believe this bottoming process probably will take about a month or two, and then we'll know. No, I wouldn't buy Carnival or Royal Caribbean. I think you're going to want to wait on the cruise ships. That they borrow a lot of money to build those ships, and as long as there's people are cruising, it's great, and the money's coming. But now that people can't cruise because of the coronavirus, they're basically sitting at the docks, and they've got to pay these payments, and they don't have the cash flow. So, not a good place to be. Wouldn't be. Yeah, exactly, Bobby. You're right. Wouldn't buy anything right now. Yeah, exactly. It's just sketchy right now, but there's going to be just sit tight. I know this is the hardest thing to do. You're like, wow, I want to get out there, I want to make money, but just sit tight because about the only thing you can really do is sit in cash and then short right now. But that'll change. That will change. CODX. Let me just look at CODX. Let me look at the chart. All right, CODX. Wow, look at that. It's got a blow off top too. Diagnostic company, so that they might short term they might do really well. It's trading down at 10. I just don't know enough about the company. It just doesn't. It's a really strange chart. But the chart is, the chart is going up. So I mean, I can't fault it. It's not an inherently bad chart. It does have a blow off top at $21, but not a cash is king right now. Absolutely, hold it and save it. Actually, what's happening right now is that, and it's weird because we really haven't experienced this in our lives, but most of the time, for most of everybody's lives, if you have cash, you want to trade it into things like products because things are going to cost more in the future. Well, that's been flipped on that's been flipped over. Actually, things are going to be cheaper in the next few months. Now, it's not going to remain that way forever, but they're going to be cheaper. As a matter of fact, on Thursday of last week, I bought a Rolex for $1,500, which was $15,000 Rolex's gold. So, I mean, people are going to be hungry. Unfortunately, they're gonna be, they're going to be their highest interest rate. Well, now bank accounts are safe because of the FDIC. That is true. But money market, not so much. Uh, Airline stocks, wait or buy. Absolutely wait. They're going to get a bailout, but they're still in the problem. Yeah. I wouldn't be a buyer of airline stocks right now because again, they have the same problem the cruise ships have. They're very dependent on travel, and travel is basically, at least for a few weeks, and hopefully just a few weeks. It's pretty much done. I mean, unless they absolutely have to. So it's not. Any short sale advice? Yes. Um, um, try to get a level 3 authorization in your account because that's gonna be a good thing. I'm delinquent on this, but look out on my YouTube channel, Dallas Trading Floor, because I'm going to have a little PowerPoint presentation on how to short stocks, what it is, what you're doing, how to do it, because I'm coming with that. Start buying gold. People are going to rush into gold. Gold is an inflation hedge. It's not a deflation hedge. Cash is the deflation hedge. That's really what it is. What do you think of smaller CV stocks like IBIO? I'm not really a fan of thinly capitalized stocks, but BIO. See, a lot of these are penny stocks. Yeah, this is trading at 130. This is a penny stock. You can make money on a penny stock if you're very fast, but typically they're just too few holders, and they're pushed around by too few people. You can really lose your ass on them. On oil. You know what? I think options. I think oil is actually going lower. So, as weird as it sounds, you might want to be shorting the oil ETF, the oil spider. What is that? What is the oil spider? Let me tell you what that is. That may be a very good short. I am not doing it currently, but that's a good trading idea. Oil spider. Yes. Let me see what the yeah. Okay, XOP. The oil spider is called the XOP. I'm going to look at that. XOP. It's trading a little bit today. It's probably an excellent short. God, it's only $8. Wow, $8.81. You know what? This might be the king of all shorts. This is only $8. There's not much more left to short because it's almost there. But wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Dang, one virus causes I know it's been. This is what Nicholas Taleb, a very famous author. He wrote a book after the 1987 crash, and it's called The Black Swan. And I think that's essentially what it is. It's something that just comes out totally out of left field, and you can't predict it, and it just crashes the market. I think that's what it is. What do you think of the UVXY? Yeah, that's an inverse. I like this one. Yeah, I like these invert. Yeah, this is a good one. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I see if it backs off a little bit, but you probably make some money if you put. Now, for everybody out there, there's really only three things you want to be doing in this market. One, be in cash. Two, short indexes like I'm doing. And third is potentially going long. It's the only thing I'm going to say going long on reverse ETFs. This is a bear ETF on the New York Stock Exchange. It's not highly leveraged. This might be a very good. This might be a very good play in this market. So for everybody out there, that's the UVXY. UVXY. What symbol? UVXY is the symbol on that one. Symbol for the one to short. No, don't short. Don't short the bear funds. They short for you. What I'm trying to say. Don't short the bear funds. Now, the long funds you want to short. Now, that's essentially a bear fund. That's a short fund. There's the inverse of that called the TQQQ. Now, you might consider shorting the TQQQ, but if you're going to go long, you want to go with the SQQQ. That's just what that is. I have 10K and it was recommended when things get when things get going here. I would recommend I'd recommend going long on the good stocks that are going to be knocked down to a very good number. I think Microsoft probably will be trading under $100, and that might be a good deal. Can you? Yes, you can hold the short funds overnight. It's more risky, but absolutely you can short. You can hold them overnight. I would recommend I would recommend probably not holding the leveraged ones overnight, but the unleveraged ones, I would recommend. Let me just take a look at the PSQ right now. PSQ, and okay, yeah, it's come down a bit. Okay, well that's good. That's a short fund right now. The inverse ETFs, the bear ETFs, typically are trading down a little bit, but that's not going to be the case forever. But the PSQ it's a short fund. That's one you might want to look at. Tesla. Wow. Is the PowerPoint? No, it isn't. I will have it hopefully here pretty quick, and I will announce it on the air when I have it. I've just been so busy because a lot of people are not here at the floor because of the coronavirus. I'm kind of doing it on my own right today because everyone seems to be out. But I should have it hopefully available for you. We're putting up. Let's see. Okay, we're back down to 249. Okay, the SPY went up briefly to 255. It's now trading down 249. I think it's probably going to move lower. I think we may have seen the blip for the day, but who knows? I mean, I'm just gonna look at it here. Yeah, I think we may have seen the blip up for the day. I think we may be going lower today, as I kind of expected. Can you take a look at the NVAX? NVAX. Let me just take a quick look at that one. NVAX. Oh, okay. Nice. This one's nice. You know what? It might be, but that's not a bad chart pattern. Even in this market, that's not a bad chart pattern. There's a lot of activity in it. Basically starting in about January 15th, it looks like there's a lot of volume here. It was basically very inexpensive stock prior to that. Yeah, this might be NVAX. let me just see if there's any news on it. Putnam Funds press release announces. Okay, so I'm just looking at their. Okay. So okay, so this is the 10Q. Spiritual open-end funds. It seems like Putnam Investments basically is heavily into this one. I bought James at 550. I sold. Excellent, by the way. Excellent. That's JUNG. Let me just look at that. That's. By the way, I love hearing when people do that. Make money like that. JUNG. I love that. That makes me feel really good. That is. Okay. JUNG. What's the SPY's next support? I think the SPY's next support is about. I believe the SPY's support is about 220. That's my guess. I believe it's about 220. That's where I think it is. Currently, it's trading a little. The support that I was waiting for it basically to break through was 250. It briefly went above 250 today, but it's falling again. It closed yesterday at 237. And it traded up a little bit. It looks like it's backing off. It's about 249 right now. I shorted it probably a little bit too soon. I have a short at 24. I've just done 300. That's it. I'm a little bit lower than that. Probably a little bit too early on the short, but I think probably will move well. But we'll see. A nugget. Oh, this yeah. In a regular world, I really would love this stock, but in this world, I don't like this stock, only because. Oh, this is ETF. Oh, I'm sorry. NUGT is okay. So this is a bull share. Yeah. Okay. This is the gold mining gold. This is a bull share. I wouldn't. I don't like this chart. You might want to try GLD, which is a better one, which is on gold. I just right now I'm not a yeah. The one I like better on this is the Spider Gold Trust, the GLD. I know it's more expensive. I just think it's better quality. That's just my opinion. What do you say the sport? I just bought the SPY put. Okay, good for you, man. Hopefully it does the retro. I think you're right. You know what? I think you're going to win on this on the put. I think you're going to win on this one because I do believe it's rallied. The SPY has rallied, but I don't think it's going to continue rallying. On oil. Let me look at that real quick. On oil options. Oh, these are the banks? No, that's unfortunately no. What about REITs? There is one REIT that I really like. It's called ELS, and it's Sam Zell. And guess what? They own trailer parks in Florida and Arizona, and it's highly profitable. And because a lot of people are going to lose their jobs, unfortunately, I don't think that's a good thing. It's probably going to recover. It took a serious hit, but in general, ELS has been a really good performer. It's very high dividend for a REIT. Like everything else, it took a hit in the market. It's readjusting, but actually, this is one of the ones I think will come back the fastest. And the reason I believe this, I think a lot of the other REITs that have shopping centers and all that kind of stuff in it, a lot of the tenants are just going to go out of business. like JCPenney. But the ELS is mobile home parks. And the thing about it is that mobile home parks are the least expensive housing for most people. For about $750, $850 a month. There's nowhere else in America you can do that. Kroger. Kroger is probably the highest quality grocery store. But I think you're better off with Walmart, to be honest, than Kroger. I like Kroger. What about the TVIX? Let me look at the TVIX for